Hello Southies, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, my name is Cece and today I'm doing a tiny house speed build. And for this tiny house speed build, I'm building here in Oasis Springs, and I wanted to make kind of a trailer, sort of a modern minimalist trailer home. And so that is what we're doing. I did build this from reference. Unfortunately, I cannot find the reference photo. I've been looking all over Pinterest. I thought I saved it, but I guess I didn't. If I do find it, I will be sure to link it in the description below. But it is essentially going to be an all-white structure with this sort of wood panel piece sticking out. As you can see, the structure is pretty simple. This is going to end up being a 64 by 64 size house, which I believe in the game is considered a tiny house. And what really drew me to the reference photo was this little thing I'm working on right now, this little deck area. And I knew that I could sort of replicate it by using these little structure pieces. Off the top of my head, I believe this comes from Perfect Patio, but I'm probably wrong. But that's what kind of drew me to the photo. Also, the little brown piece that I'm working on right now. You'll see that I use some Spa Day wallpaper to kind of replicate the wood sort of vibe that the reference photo has. Right now you're not going to see it because I didn't do it until I got done and was doing screenshots, but I'm going to add a little fireplace right there. But this little outdoor area is just going to have some tables and chairs because there's not enough room for tables and chairs inside. So this build is going to be for a single sim, a male sim. I'm not really sure what he does for a living, but I know that he's very minimalistic. It's going to have a very distinct masculine vibe, the house, and it's, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot of stuff in it. I feel with tiny living, the whole point is to reduce your carbon footprint, is to declutter your life and to make life simpler and only have the basic necessities that you need. So there will be a separate bedroom as I'm working on right now, and then there'll be a kitchen and living space and then a tiny bathroom. So there's not going to be a lot of clutter. I do like to clutter my builds, but in this one it's most definitely going to be a very minimalist vibe. Lots of wood, warm tones, black tones, because I feel this guy is going to be kind of, you know, like very, very masculine. I know that people kind of get triggered with the whole masculine and feminine vibes, but you'll definitely know that a guy lives here. That's just the vibe that I'm going for. I feel like naturally most guys sort of gravitate toward darker colors. This might not be true, but kind of from what I've seen, guys tend to gravitate toward darker, more moodier tones. Women tend to navigate towards brighter tones, and even if it's sort of dark and moody, there's a sort of a feminine quality to them. This, I really wanted to feel like a single bachelor guy lives here, that this is very distinctly masculine. So I'm working on the kitchen and I'm using these Spa Day counters. I like these counters, especially when I'm trying to do a more of a modern look and feel to a build. And I think that these work really well. Of course, I tried to include a lot of windows because this place is so small. I wanted the outdoors to sort of flood into the indoors for there to be a very distinct indoor-outdoor feel. And so that's why you'll see kind of windows throughout the build. The bedroom, I use those island living sliding doors so that you have immediate access to the outside patio. I didn't include that in the living kitchen area just because it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but we do have those big large windows to sort of connect that. The bathroom, everything is player tested, so the black bathroom should work. I put the shower from Discovery University there, and your sim will be able to get over there. I think you could probably fit 2 sims comfortably in this build, but I think 1 sim is perfect. Now you're gonna see me change this area a lot. I feel like with tiny living, it's even harder to figure out the layout of all the furniture, and I struggled with this a lot, but I'm going to include all of my attempts just because this is a short video, and I think it'd be nice for you guys to sort of see my process and how I'm figuring this space out. This particular configuration I liked it a lot, but I was trying to fit in certain items like a television, and I wanted to put in desk space in this living room, but I couldn't, so that will end up going into the bedroom. But yeah, I maneuvered this place over and over and over again, and it took me a while to kind of figure out what I wanted and how I wanted it to look, but in the end I do come up with it. I first wasn't using a whole lot of actual tiny living items, but I will rectify that, especially in the living room. I end up using the couch, tiny living couch, and then the TV radio combo. But let's see, any housekeeping items today? I did start a Let's Build that will actually go up the same time this video goes up, around the same time. And it'll be kind of a multifunctional lot in San Myshuno, so look forward to that. It should be split up. It will end up being split up in 4 parts. The first part coming out today, the second part coming out sometime next week, and then I'll finish filming the 3rd and 4th part. Sorry if you hear that dog outside. I live in an apartment complex. I cannot control the noise. But yeah, so, and then on the channel, I just have my Let's Plays going. I've been flirting with the idea of putting at least 1 or 2 of my Let's Plays on sort of a mini hiatus. That way I can explore some other Let's Play ideas that I have. Because I work full time, it's really hard for me to do multiple types of videos on the channel. That's why if you're someone who's been watching me for a while, you'll notice that I stopped doing cast videos. Cast videos are fun, but they just take up a lot of time, kind of a lot of unnecessary time, and it's something that I just decided to stop doing on my channel. But and then I only have, the 3 Let's Plays, and then every once in a while or at least once a week, I put out a speed build. And so to kind of keep my channel sort of fresh, I've been thinking, like I said, toying with the idea of sort of putting a couple of them on hiatus, doing a couple of different other Let's Plays, and then sort of doing seasons and doing like a season 2 or something like that of those old Let's Plays, or not old, but the ones that I'm currently doing. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I know I kind of put that out on Twitter, and some people were like, no, don't do it. Nothing is going away forever. All the characters that I've created, that I've been playing with, I'm going to keep. But you want I want my videos to feel fresh, and I want my ideas to feel fresh. And I'm someone that constantly has particular stories going on in my head at one time, especially when I create sims. When I create sims, even just for speed builds, I start in my mind thinking of these whole backgrounds for their lives and how they live their lives and all of that. It's kind of funny that for this one, I could come up with the idea that a guy lives here, but I really couldn't come up with anything beyond that. He didn't speak to me in the same way that most of my other sims speak to me, but I have a couple of sims that I built a an apartment for that I will showcase in the coming weeks for, and I am just obsessed with them, especially when I got into play testing them for the screenshots. I was like, oh, I want to play these characters so bad. So I want to live out their story. And I do have a couple of Let's Plays that I have exclusively with Tumblr, which is basically just me showcasing screenshots and then sort of telling a story based off the screenshots. But I feel like these particular Sims, I don't want to do that. I want to actually show you them living their lives. So kind of getting back into the build, I'm starting to work on the landscaping. Okay, this trick that I'm doing right here with the little side tables to cover up that open space and that little bump out that I have is definitely not an idea that I came up with. I've seen Freezer Bunny do it a lot, and I wish we could have like an actual piece that covers that up. But with the landscaping, I want it to be very minimal. Again, this whole build is very minimal. I wanted to put this grass, this kind of scorched earth looking grass. Not that he doesn't take care of his grass. Probably he doesn't. He probably hire someone to do that for him, or that kind of thing. But I wanted a very minimalistic feel. I used the controversial 20th anniversary hot tub, which, you know, he lives in the desert. He needs a cover, right? When he's outside for his skin. The Sim that lives here is actually a redhead, so I want to make sure he doesn't burn in the sun. So that fits. And then I think I'll put a barbecue out there. I really love this landscaping. I didn't use a lot of flowers just because, like I said, I don't think he's someone that takes care of his lawn, that he wants the most minimal sort of plant vibes as possible. I put these island living lounge chairs, and I want to say that's about it for what I do with the outside. I don't think I know it looks like I'm searching for something. Oh, it's that little cover again. Gotta protect his skin, right? And then after I'm done with here, you'll see me go back inside and finally figure out the living room configuration. Once I put in the tiny living couch in there. I really love this build. In my mind, tiny living is like where I want to end up in my life. I want to live in a tiny trailer in maybe the desert like this, or just in the middle of nowhere, and just live my retired days. And like I said, I don't have kids now, but when I do and they start having kids, I do not want to take care of grandkids long term. So it's going to be one of those situations. Oh, sure, grandkids can come and stay with grandma for like a week, and they can sleep in the tent during, vacations, school vacation. But once that's over with, they go back home. So if you're planning on having some kind of a crisis or something, you better get over it, because your children aren't living with me. It's gonna be the kind of grandma that I am. I say that because just kind of in my world, it is commonplace for grandparents to end up taking care of grandkids, and not even because of tragedy with their children, just because their children don't want to be parents. And so I have decided, even now when I'm so far away from grandparenthood, that that's not happening to me. I know that's a random rant, but you'd be surprised of how many grandparents end up taking care of their grandchildren full time. But here I am, I'm putting in the chair, and the video is almost done. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a happy little thumbs up, comment down below, what do you think of the build? And if you haven't and you want to see more content from me, please subscribe. I try to post every week, and I would love to have you be a part of the Southly family. And as always, my name is Cece, and I promise never to break your game. Bye.
Posting pictures on the gram so other people know that we're more than friends. And ever since you came around, I've never been sober, always in my head. Met you at a time when I was so low. Went from just talking to taking you home.